this is Warhawk Beyond 2040, and welcome to another edition of the Progressive Rock and Metal album review series. And today I am going to be taking a look at an album that came out in 2022 by a brand new band called Alta Forma, that was formed by bassist, composer, and bandleader Antoine Fafard. And this is their debut recording for the Timeless Momentum label, Spatium and Tempus. So, Spatium and Tempus marks the first time that an Antoine Fafard project features a vocalist. Now, of course, as we all know already, Antoine Fafard is, of course, no stranger to playing with singers. As we all know, he's played with Canadian progressive rock band Mystery, who, of course, as we all know, feature a lead vocalist. And since 2011, Antoine Fafard has released a series of solo albums under his name as a bandleader, which is primarily instrumental music with influences of jazz, rock, fusion, progressive rock, progressive metal, classical, and chamber music. And when Antoine Fafard announced that his next project was going to be a brand new band featuring a lead vocalist, I was quite surprised because, we all know that Antoine Fafard is an amazing composer and his compositions are very wild, very crazy, and very out there. So I was very, very intrigued about how a vocalist would match up with not just Antoine Fafard as a player, but as a composer. I always question that, how would a vocalist match up with his compositions? Where would it fit? And after listening to Spatium and Tempus a number of times, the results were very pleasing, very surprising, and overall fantastic. Antoine Fafard knows how to deliver. He knows exactly how his music is going to be executed. He always chooses, top-notch players to, fulfill his vision, and it really comes across very strongly. And this is a true band effort. This is not just an Antoine Fafard solo project. This is very much a band effort. And, listening to it, I can hear traces of Mystery, which of course is no surprise because, as I mentioned, Antoine Fafard has played with Mystery a number of times and he's featured on 2 of their recordings, which I also highly recommend you check that out. They're really, really good. And it's amazing how a singer's voice can match up with, music written by Antoine Fafard. And it's incredible and it absolutely blew me away and I was very impressed with the results. So let's have a look at what we got here. So, Alta Forma is comprised of Antoine Fafard on bass and guitars, longtime collaborator Todd Schusterman on drums from Styx, and J.K. Harrison on vocals and keyboards. So, there is the band. It's pretty incredible to know that there are 3 guys in this band, and listening to this several times, it sounds like there's a band of 6 guys to 5. It's just absolutely incredible. And the production is incredible, the musicianship, the playing, the singing especially, which I'll get into in a moment, is just top notch. And I expected nothing but the absolute best from a musician as talented as Antoine Fafard. He really knows how to deliver the goods. And as I said before, this is a guy who doesn't mess around. He is, without a doubt, the real deal. So all of the music and lyrics is written and composed by Antoine Fafard, with the exception of one track written by J.K. Harrison and one co-effort by Fafard and Harrison, and also J.K. Harrison provides lyrical assistance and synth programming by Antoine Fafard. So this is a top-notch album, as you'd expect. If you've listened to Antoine Fafard's solo albums, as well as his co-led album with Porcupine Tree drummer Gavin Harrison, you kind of know what to expect here. But here, it's a bit different, but sometimes different's good. And boy, oh boy, the results is just jaw-dropping. And wow, it's just absolutely incredible. And, listening to the music a number of times, you can definitely hear influences of other bands like ELP, Rush. There is especially a lot of Rush influence in the music. There's traces of UK, there's traces of Yes, there's even like twists of jazz fusion from acts such as Steely Dan and Gino Vanelli. And you can also hear some classic rock influences like Cream, Led Zeppelin, and The Who. But what makes Antoine Fafard so different is he takes all of those influences and applies it to his music. So he's not emulating those guys, he's influenced by them, but he applies it to his own material and just adds his own slant on things, and he makes everything sound fresh and original. So he's not copying anyone, he's adding his own slant on things, and it works really, really well. And the results, as I mentioned, is very, very satisfying. So Alta Forma is a brand new band with their own style, their own sound, and their own original voice. So they're not trying to like copy any of those bands that I mentioned. You can hear the influences, don't get me wrong, but they're not a copycat. They're very much their own thing. So there is the credits and a little bit about how this project came together, and some more notes here from Fafard and some credits. We got the lyrics here as well. There's a shot of Schumann and Harrison, and some more lyrics here, and a cool shot of Fafard doing his thing. Another cool shot here of Harrison and Schumann. Another cool shot of Fafard with his bass, and there's Schumann as well. And some more lyrics here, another shot of Harrison and Fafard doing his thing. And there's a shot of the whole band, and a very cool and eerie picture of Fafard in the woods. But brilliant stuff here. It's all good as far as I'm concerned. So tracks we've got here are Comfort Zone, which is a real kick-ass opener. Think of Rush Hemispheres meets Mystery's Pride. Really sounds like those two worlds coming together. And boy oh boy, the vocals, killer vocals, which are on full display here. And this track alone really sets the tone for what Spatium and Tempus is going to be all about. And it just gets better from there. Impossible Heroes, another great track. Climbing to Infinity is another great track. Never After. Invisible Time's great. Time to Dive. Here Now. His Mind's Universe. And Apocalyptus. A great collection of songs. Every track on here is just kick-ass, and it's a great listen from start to finish, and from top to bottom it's just really, really good music here. And J.K. Harrison, what more can you say? A fantastic singer. And I fully respect Antoine Fafard for choosing an unknown singer, because if you choose an established singer, you kind of know what to expect here, so there's not really much expectations in terms of what you're going to get. But when you bring in an unknown singer, you don't really know what to expect. Expectations are high, and I can honestly tell you, Fafard's compositions and Harrison's singing, they work really well together. And Harrison, as I mentioned, a great singer, lots of great bass playing from Fafard, as you'd expect, some great guitar playing as well. Whew. Killer guitar playing here. Todd Schumann is a badass behind the drum kit, and there's some great drumming on here as well, and he plays a big part on this album with his drumming. Harrison plays a big part, of course, on the vocals. All three musicians here are just on top-notch form, and this is an amazing album. As I said before, I didn't really know what to expect, when Fafard said he was going to bring a singer for his next project. But I trust Fafard. He's never let me down before. He's never let anyone down before. And yeah, very, very pleased with what I'm hearing. And I like what I'm hearing as well. It's really, really good. So, standout tracks for me: Comfort Zone, Climbing to Infinity, Never After, Here Now, His Mind's Universe, and Apocalyptus, which is kind of like the longest track on here. It's like 6 minutes and 24 seconds. And the rest of the tracks here, they're all like clocking in at around about the 5-minute mark, 4 minutes, and 3 minutes. And it's such an incredible listen that the time just flies by so fast because the music's so good. It really pulls you in, and it just doesn't let up. It's not like it slows down. It just gets really, really fast, and the pace just doesn't slow down for a moment. But really good album and very, very enjoyable. So there you have it. Alta Forma Spatium and Tempus. Highly recommend you check it out. You're in for a very special treat. Don't be skeptical, about a singer. Could this work? It does work. Believe me, it does work. And it works very, very well. You're in for a real special treat. This is excellent stuff here. And, if you know Antoine Fafard, if you've heard his solo stuff, yeah, you know what to expect. So there you have it. Alta Forma, Spatium, and Tempus. Fantastic stuff. And hopefully we look forward to hearing more from them. So that's going to be it from me. I'm going to wrap this up now. What's your favourite track from Spatium and Tempus? Is it Comfort Zone, Impossible Hero, Climbing to Reality, Never After, Invisible Time, Time to Dive, Here Now, His Mind's Universe, or Apocalyptus? There's no right or wrong answer. We all have our favourite tracks. You know what to do, guys. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave your thoughts and comments down below. And I will see all of you next time for another edition of the Progressive Rock and Metal album review series. And I also highly recommend you click the link down below, which is my review on the Antoine Fafard solo catalogue, which is featured in the Jazz Albums review series. Make sure you listen to that. There's some really cool stuff there I think would be very appealing to each and every one of you. So make sure you check that out. So until next time, take care, everybody, and stay safe. And once again, as always, much appreciated. Thanks for listening.